If your child's at the age of mobility, say crawling and or walking, it's super important to stay out of the no zone. What I mean is a lot of parents will get caught up in the no, don't, leave that alone. Of course, we want to clear out our environment, and that's super important, though some people think that it's important that children learn to respect things in the environment, just not too many. If you have really prized possessions, I encourage people to put those up for a while. You just don't want too many. But with that being said, in an environment, a living environment, there's also all sorts of kinds of things that children starting to be mobile want to learn about. So that's the stage of development. They want to know belonging, and they want to know the context surrounding it. So we want to teach appropriate desired behavior with those things in their context, not just saying, no, don't touch that. Because learning is occurring. First year, first 2 years, so much language acquisition is happening such that their expressive isn't there, but their receptive is very high. And so we need to get into their world and know that they want to experience everything that we're experiencing. And by touching that and, moving towards those things is part of that. Stay out of the no zone. And so maybe children, they always love to go towards remotes, right? But we can go over to that child and say, oh, this is where it goes. And it's mommy and daddy's. And we just put it up there. Here's your choice. So we've defined what it is, whose it's for, and here's your things. Children might get into something in the kitchen that is not child appropriate. Oh, that's mommy's, but here's yours. Maybe it's plastics that aren't going to be hurtful. And we just keep moving them toward that. They will eventually learn. It might take a little bit more ambition than sitting on the couch for parents. It's going to take you moving about. But that's what toddlers are exploring, and they explore everything through their mouth and hands at that point. But they want to touch everything you touch, experience everything that they've seen you experience. But they need to know context and behavior surrounding that. So anything that they are engaging in, think instead of, no, don't touch that, or no, don't do that, walk away. Think of what's the appropriate response with that item and where does it go? And then always redirecting them to their own things. Here's the caution if you get caught up in no in those early years. Hopefully you can train yourself just not to go there. It's better off. But if you get caught up in there at this age, children can't discriminate between positive, desired attention, negative attention. They just know if they get eye contact, even if there's a no that comes from it, they're going to go touch it again. We've all seen that, right? So stay away from that, and it will just ease into later development where you're going to have to do a contrast of yes and no's in life, right? We have that later on in development, but not in those toddler years. Stay away from that so that we're not breeding rebellion. We're not sowing that into our children. We're only teaching them desired response comes with a parental, yes, good, that's right, affirmation. And here's the context and here's the right thing to do with it. But then there's things that belong to you and there's things that belong to other people. If all we're doing is saying no, we're just shutting them down and reinforcing negative behavior, and they're going to go after reinforcement at any cost. And I'm sure that we've all seen this in a lot of children who are just into everything because they've heard no a lot. And you get a kind of a trap of saying no a lot more than you are yes. And then that's a downward spiral.